Quick video comparing and contrasting the Shun Classic 6-inch utility knife and the Global GS3 13-centimeter utility knife. The reason I'm doing that is both of these are in the same price range, and both of them are very well-known brands, so a lot of times people find themselves choosing between the two. First off, the similarities. Both knives are handmade in Japan, and both knives are Japanese-style knives, which means they have relatively similar cutting angles. 16 degrees for the Shun, and a little bit thinner and sharper of a 15-degree angle for the Global. Both knives also have a lifetime warranty. But now that we've discussed that, let's start with the differences. The Shun is obviously a more traditionally made knife. It's forged, it has a full tang going through the handle, and the handle is actually made of black paca wood, which is a compressed resin-filled wood that makes it almost impervious to any sort of water damage and soaking damage and staining. The Global, on the other hand, with its modern design, a lot of people don't realize, is actually a two-piece knife. The blade is made separately and sharpened and everything. The handle is hollow and filled with sand, and the whole thing is welded together right here and then smoothed out. The reason they do this is because it makes a very light, weight-controlled knife, but the other side of that coin is there have been stories, though rare, about the knives breaking along the weld point, which I think is not something you want to have happening with a sharp knife. Off the bat, let's discuss the actual blades now. The actual blades are wildly different. Global uses, first of all, Chromova 18, which is a very soft and malleable metal. It is 56 to 58 hardness. Shun uses VG Max, which is actually a notch above the gold standard VG10 and is a 61 hardness. The end result is the Shun is going to hold an edge very, very well. It's not going to need sharpening really that often at all. The Global, on the other hand, can be abused much more, even though it does dull much quicker. In my mind, however, I think that as long as you're using the knife properly and treating it with respect, you always want to have the hardest metal because, again, it's less maintenance, it's less dulling, it's less honing, it's less sharpening. On the other side of that coin is the fact that the Global is just Chromova 18 that's been flattened and sharpened, while the Shun is VG Max that then has 34 layers on either side of stainless steel incorporated into the blade. That number one gives you this gorgeous Damascus finish, but number two, it also makes it impervious to rust and pitting and staining just by virtue of having so much stainless steel worked into it. Both knives, like I said, have lifetime warranties, but the Shun Classic also comes with free lifetime sharpening, which I think is a deal breaker. The reason is, if you're giving your knife to a reputable sharpener, it's going to cost you roughly $5 an inch on a non-serrated blade, which means this knife alone is going to cost you $30 to sharpen, and this one's going to cost you about $25 to $30 to sharpen. That adds up very quickly, and even with all that said, you don't really know what the result's going to be. There are always horror stories. With the Shun, you send the knife to Shun, they look it over, if they see any problems, they toss it and they give you a brand new knife. But otherwise, you can rest easy knowing that they're going to put the exact same edge back on the blade that you fell in love with when you first purchased the knife, and they're going to do it for free. So I think it's really a no-brainer. If you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, let me know. Otherwise, I'll put a link down to both these knives below, and I'll talk to you very soon. Quick video comparing and contrasting the Shun Classic 6-inch utility knife and the Global GS3 13-centimeter utility knife. The reason I'm doing that is both of these are in the same price range, and both of them are very well known.